Hello everyone, welcome to Skills Build Training YouTube channel. Myself Mohammad Zubair, and this channel is all about showing you how to become an IT pro really fast. So the topic of today's video is how to build your first Unreal Engine game step by step. So without any further ado, let's get started. So obviously, first of all, you will have to download your Unreal Engine. And to do that, head to the official website and from there, click on this download button. After that, it will take you to a page something like this. Here you have two options, either you can go with publishing license or you can go with creator's license. Go to the publishing license and scroll down. Here you have a button to download your Unreal Engine. So just click on it and the process of like 50 to 55 MB will get downloaded. As you can see here, it's 54.16 MB. After you are done downloading, then install it. I have already done that, so I will just cancel it. One thing which I want to mention here, and that is Unreal Engine takes up to 15 gigabytes of your space upon the installation. So make sure you have that much space available in your system. Let's move on to the Unreal Engine itself. This is my Unreal Engine after the installation, and now I will launch it. So to do that, I'll just click on this button. After launching, this is the interface of which we get. Either we can create the already created project or you can create a new one. To do that, just click on the category of which you want to choose. Either you can go with games, film, television, or you have architecture, engineering, then you have automotive, product design and manufacturing. Obviously, we are going with games, so I will just click on it, and after that, I'll click on next. And then from here, you have to select a template because every template will get used for different purposes. Like here we have puzzle, then we have flying, then we have first person. If you want to create a game like first person shooter, then you will go with this template, or if you want to create a puzzle game, then you will go with this template. But at the moment I'm going with the blank one. After that, click on next. Then here you have different options of which you can select. Obviously we want to create this one for our desktop, so that is why I'll go with this one. And after that, we have to name our project and make sure that you do not put any space in the name of your project. So I will name it as Rolling Ball. And after that, here you have the directory where this project will get saved. You can change this direction by just clicking on this browse for a folder option and you can go to the directory. But I'm okay with this one. So this is the interface which we get after we are done creating our project. So here we have different tools which we can select and which we can use to create our game and create our environment and different things. And then here we have different options as well. And then here we have different tabs which will get used for different purposes, and I will talk to you about every one of them. You can resize and replace it as well. For example, this is my word outliner. I can drag it and I can drop it along with my content browser. You can close this one as well and you can restore them. So let's say if I want to just close this one, and here we have our details, and here you can see in which section we are. It gets highlighted, and it also means we can resize it. This is how you can resize it. And if I click on this table, here you can see in detail section it says table, and along with that we have different other information about this table, and these are the transformation, then we have static mesh, then we have material, then we have the physics of this table. So these were different information related to our environment. I will close this tab as well. Now what if I want to get back to these tabs? And to do that, just go to your Windows, and here you have your detail tab, and from here go to your details one, because at the moment we only have one. And then again I have content browser. I will close this one, and to get back to this, again go to your Windows, and from here go to your content browser and click on content, and it will get restored at its default position. So this is how you can work with your different tabs. The next thing which I want to discuss with you is controls. If I click on my chair here, as you can see here, we have 3 different arrows. And if I press my space key, I have different shape. And again, if I press my space key, we have a different shape here. If you do not want to go with this option, you have another way to do it, and that is you have these 3 icons. This one gets used for the translation, this one gets used for rotation, and this one gets used for the scaling. And now let's check out that how these work. I will start with translation. I will just click on this chair, and here we have the red one. If I click on it, it will move along, and if I click on blue one and if I drag it, it will move upward. So this is how translation works. And now let's see how rotation works. If I drag the green one, here you can see it is moving in this direction. And now if I drag the red one, it will move in the forward direction. And let's see how it will work if we drag the blue one. And here you can see it is moving towards the right side. And let's check out the last option, which is scaling. So we can increase and decrease the size of any object in our environment. So this is how these different tool works. We will use these one as well in our game development. So that is why I wanted to talk to you about these one. Now what we need to do, we need to see one more thing, and that is how we can move around and how we can look around into our environment. If you right click on your screen and you move your mouse on the left and right side, this is how it will look like. And if we move upward, it will move forward. And if I want to go backward, I have to move my mouse downward. So this is how it works. Now just keep pressing your left key and press your WASD. And again, this is work in the same way, just like it was doing earlier. And now if you press your both left and right key, and now if you move your mouse forward and backward, it will move into the upward and downward direction. So this is how these different shortcuts work. And if you want to know more about these one, just click on this button here which says click to show view port controls, and it will take you to the official documentation where you can find out the details about this one. So I will just close this one, and now let's move back to our game environment. At the moment, I do not want to work with this one. I want to create my bubble game. So that is why I want a new level. For that, click on your files, and from here click on new level, and I'll go with default. And obviously I do not want to save this one, so I will just click on don't save. And here we have our new level. One more important thing which I want to tell you, and that is you will find your every level in your content browser and then in your content. The next important thing about creating a game is blueprints. Blueprint is a space where we will create our logics and from where our code will get executed. So I will just click on this drop down arrow which says blueprint, and from here I will click on open level blueprint, and this is our blueprint at the moment, and this is how it looks like. By default we have 2 options here. First one is event begin play, and second one is event tick. Event begin play means when our game will begin, this will happen. I'm not concerned about this one at the moment, so that is why I will remove the event tick. To do that, just select this one and press delete. So here, what I want to do, I want to print a message whenever our game gets started. To do that, here you have an icon here. So just drag from it and leave it. Here you have a different option. I want to print something. To do that, I have to go to my utilities, which is right here. Then from here, I have to look for something which is called string. And then I want a function which says print string. And what I want to print here, I want to print here my first game. Let's play this game. To do that, we have to go back to our environment. Okay, one more thing which is very useful here, and that is instead of keep shifting between our game environment and our blueprint, what we can do, we can drag it and drop it along with our gaming environment. And here it will look like. So I will change my message here. I will just print it here. Hello. And now we are good to go. If we go back into our game environment, and now what we need to do, we need to just save it. So I will just save it and I will name it as level 1. And after that, just click on save. And here you can see we have our level 1 into our content folder. And now if I play my game here, to do that just click on this button. And here you can see we have a message hello, but it was only there for just a second. In order to stop your game, you have to press on your stop button. And now I will go back to my blueprint, and from here I can do different things with respect to my message. And these are, I can change the color of my message, and I can change the duration for which I want to keep this message appearing on my screen. Let's say I want to do this for 5 seconds. And now if I go back to my environment and click on play, here you can see we have the hello for more duration on the screen. Now I will stop my game here. Now I will go back to my blueprint. So this is how it works. We did this with the help of event begin play. Mean when the game got started, this happened. What if we want to do this with the help of some keys? Like if I press my some key and I want to do something. To do that, we have to use something called input. For example, if I right click on my screen anywhere in my blueprint, and in here I have to look for input. Here it is, and from here I'll go to my keyboard events, and now I will look for the key which I want to use. I want to use my A key, so I will look for that. Here it is, I will just click on it, and now here we have two other options. First one is pressed, and then we have released. Mean what will happen if we press this key and what will happen if we release this key. I want to print a message whenever I press my A key. So I will just drag from it and I will just search for print function. And here you can see we have print string. So you have learned one more thing here, and that is you can search for a particular thing by just typing its name if you know it. So I will just click on it and I will write here A key got pressed. So I will just get out of this, and now let's play our game. And now if I press my A key, here you can see we have A key got pressed message. But we are not being able to move with our A key. But if I press my D key, it is moving towards the right side. And if I press my W key, it is moving forward, and with S, it is moving backward. Then what is the problem with A key? Why it is not moving towards the left side? Let's see what is the problem. To do that, go back to your blueprint and select your A key, and now we have to go to its detail. And here we have its details. But before that, we have to stop our game. So I will just stop it. So at the moment, if you see in your detail section, here we have consume input. I want to uncheck it. And now if I go back, and now if I play my game, and now if I press my A key, here you can see it is moving, and as well as it is showing me the message as well. So this is how we can do different stuff with our keys. So I will stop my game, and now I will go back to my blueprint, and now let's do some different stuff. But at the moment I want to tell you about one thing, and that is, if you see here, we have our floor, and here we have one very important thing to understand, and that is, if I click on my floor, here in the detail section, its mobility is static at the moment. But there is one problem with static, and that is, as it says, a static object can be changed in game. What I want to do, as I have told you that we are going to develop a rolling ball game, so that is why we want our floor to be a reference point. To do that, we have to select an option which says movable. So I will just select this option. And now if I go back to my blueprint, and if I right click here now, here you can see we have one more option here, and it is a new one, and it says create a reference to floor. And now if I click on it, here we have one more new thing. And now from here, if I drag it and drop a line from it, and here we have different options again. So I'll go to my utilities this time, and from here I'll go to my transformation, and from here I will select add actor world rotation. Okay, now what I want to do, I want to move my floor into a particular direction whenever I press a particular key. To do that, I have to attach a key with my this actor world rotation function as well. So for that, I will add a key here, but before that, I will remove this print statement so that we do not have more thing on our screen. To do that, press your left Alt button and left click on it. I'll do the same over this one. Now what I need to do, I need to drag this key and I will attach it with this one. Now what I want to do, whenever I press my A key, I want my floor to move towards the left side. So here we have different delta rotations which we can select for our floor. So I will move it towards -5. And here I will have one more key. Select this one and I will press Ctrl W. And here we have one new key. I want this key as my D key. To do that, just select it, go to detail. Here we have input key, go to keyboards, and now just select your D key. And here it is. And now with this key, I want to move my floor towards the right side. So for that, I want one more this function. So I will just drag from it and I will drop it here, and I will just search for add actor, and here it is, add actor world rotation. So I will just select this, and what I want to do with my D key, I want my floor to move towards the right side. So I will just select 5.0. Here we have -5 and here we have 5. So we are good to go now. But before that, I want to rearrange this environment. And now if we play our game, and here if I press my A and D key, here you can see our floor is shifting towards the left side and right side. But along with that, we are also moving our scene, like we are panning our camera as well. To get rid of this problem, we again have to go back to our blueprint, and again I have to select my A key, and here we have to click on consume input, and I'll do the same with my D key. And now if I go back, I want to do one very important thing. I want to change my reference point. So I will select my reference point. Here it is. I will drag it and I will drop it here. And what I want to do, I want to see my game from this angle. So I will just drag it and I will resize it. And now if I click on my play button, and here you can see we have a new reference point or new viewpoint. So I will now press my A key and D key, and here you can see we are successfully moving our floor. So this is how you can move your floor. And now let's move ahead. So now we will do the same for our W and S key, but obviously W will be used for upward movement and S will be used for downward movement. So I will take this key and I will press Ctrl W. I will drag it here, and again I will press Ctrl W and I will drag it downward. Now what I need to do, I need to change this key. I will change this to W. So I will look for W and I will select that one. Here it is. And for this one, I will convert this into S key. So I will search for that one, and here it is. And now we are good to go. Now what we need to do, we need to repeat this thing with these two keys as well. So I'll just select this one. I'll select this one as well. And I will select this one too. And I will press Ctrl W. I will drag this, I will attach W with this one, and I will attach my S key with this one. But obviously this was for x-axis, but for W and S we need y-axis. I will take it and I will convert this into 0, and again I will convert this one into 0, but for my y I will take it as 5. For my S key I will take the value of -5. 5 mean 5 points. Floor will move 5 points per frame. And now if I go back to our editor or game environment, and now if I play our game, here you can see we are moving left and right, and we are also moving forward and backward. But at the moment for forward and backward is inverted. Means if I press my W key, it is moving downward, and with the S it is moving upward. We will solve this problem after some time. Now if we go back to our blueprint, we did this with the help of our keys. Now what if we want to do this with our mouse? To do that, we have to do one simple thing. I'll show you what it is. But before that, we need to add a ball into our floor. So here we have content folder, as you already know, and here we have one more folder which says starter content. Double click on it, and here we have one more folder with the name of shapes. I will open this one, and here we have different shapes which we can use into our game, or you can say into our environment. So what I will do here, I will take my sphere, because obviously ball is also a sphere. So I will drag it and I will drop it onto my floor. At the moment, this ball is in white shape and I want to change its material. To do that, go back to your starter content and here we have one more folder with the name of materials. Double click on it and here we have different materials which we can use for our ball here. So you can select any one of these and you can drag it and drop it onto your ball and the color of your ball will get changed. But I'm okay with this one, so that is why I'm not going to change it. And now what I will do, I will drag my ball up in the air and now if I play my game, here you can see my ball has no physics at the moment. It is going through, or you can say it is moving through our floor. Why is that so? It is because we do not have set the physics of ball yet. To do that, we have to select our ball and then we have to go to its physics. And here it is. We have to check the option which says simulate physics. Just check this one and now if we play our game here, and here you can see the ball is landing, and if you move your floor, here you can see the ball is moving also towards that direction, but it is panicking somehow in this mode. So what we need to do, we need to again change one simple thing. Go back to your blueprint and here we have drop down arrow in every actor world rotation. So just click on this and here we have one option which says teleport. Check this option and do the same for every actor world rotation. I'll do the same with these two as well. What it will do, it will force the ball to perform normally, or you can say behave normally. Now if we go back and now if we play our game here you can see it is working fine. Even if I press my any key here, and you can see here the ball is working fine and behaving fine with respect to our floor. So this is how it works. Till now we have achieved this functionality with the help of our keystrokes. Now what if we want to do this and we want to achieve this one with our mouse movement? So to do that, we have to right click on our blueprint and from here go to your inputs. Here it is, open it and in here look for mouse events and here it is. From here select mouse X and here we have our mouse X. What it will do, it will take the value whenever we will move our mouse in the X direction or in the X axis, and it will take this value and store it into axis values. We need to translate this value in the movement of our floor. So for that we have to select actor world rotation and our floor and we have to make its copy. And now we will use this one and I will drag it and drop it downwards. And now what I will do, I will attach my mouse X with my add actor world rotation and I will attach this value which will be coming with the movement of our mouse with this delta rotation value in X. But we need to do one more thing before doing this, and that is right click on it and click on split struct pin, and from here now attach it with your delta rotation X. And notice one thing here, and that is at the moment the value is -5.0, but as soon as I attach this with this one, here you can see we do not have any value because it will take the value from the movement of our mouse and it will translate it into this one. We have to do the same function, or you can say we have to perform the same functionality with our mouse Y. I will right click on my screen, I will go to my inputs, here it is, and again I will go to my mouse events and this time I'll go with mouse Y. We'll do the same with this one as well. So I will make its copy here and we will attach it with our floor, because for the reference I will attach my mouse Y, and this time this value will get attached to rotation Y, because here we want this value for the Y axis. That is why I have attached this one with my Y axis. Now if I go back and play our game, here you can see with the movement of our mouse, our floor is moving in the respective direction. It is performing okay with the X axis, but with respect to Y axis, it has some inverted values. Mean if I move my mouse upward, it is moving downward, and when I move my mouse downward, my floor is moving towards the upward direction. And to get rid of this problem, we have to apply a simple solution here, and that is go back to your blueprint and in here I will drag it, and this time I will just press static, or you can say start. And now here we have a function which says float multiply by float, and this time what I will do, I will take the value of -1 And what it will do, it will invert the values. And because of that, the inversion which we were facing earlier, we will not face it this time. And here you can see we have a small joint here. Means it is a function which is doing something and it is giving some output to our add actor world rotation. And this time if we run our game or play our game, here you can see now it is working fine with the movement of my mouse. Along with that, it is still working with my keys as well. So now we are good to go as our game is performing with our mouse and with our keys as well. So now what do we need to do? We need to do one more simple thing, and that is here you can see as soon as I'm moving my mouse, the floor is also moving in different direction, and that is really disturbing because we want to keep this floor static at the point and then we want it to move in some directions. So how we can do that? Let's check it. But before that, let's perform one more simple thing and optimize our code here. If you remember, when we started our program, or you can say when we started working on our blueprint, we had two things. First one was event begin play and second was event tick. This time I will use event tick. Here it is. And now what I'm going to do with this one, I want to attach my add actor world rotation. Here it is, and I will take my floor as well. And now I will press Ctrl W. I will drag it and I will place it here. And now what we need to do, we need X values. Here we have X axis values and here we have Y axis values, but we cannot use it in our event trick. So for that we have a small solution, and that is right click on your screen and again go to your inputs. Here it is, and from here go to your mouse events, and in here we have one more thing, and that is mouse values. I will double click on it and this time I will take mouse X, and here you can see it says get mouse X, means it contains the X axis values. So I will just drag it and I will attach it with the delta rotation X. We will do the same for the Y as well. For that I will again right click on my screen and again I will go to my inputs, and in there I'll go to my mouse values. Here it is, and this time I will take mouse Y. Let me rearrange it and I will attach it with my delta rotation Y. And before that we have to attach our event trick as well. So I will attach it with my add actor world rotation, and now we are good to go. So even if I remove this code, this program will perform perfectly fine. But before that we have to do one simple thing, and that is, if you remember, we had the Y values inverted. So what I will do here, I will again press static or star, and again I will take the function float multiplied by float, and in here I will take the value of -1, and this time I will just press enter. And now what we need to do, we need to attach this one with our delta rotation Y, and here you can see we are good to go. And now if I play my game here you can see we are successfully doing this with our lesser code. Earlier we had a bit larger code, but we are doing this now with the help of just one event tick, and we have the smaller code here as well. So this is how you can use smaller code and get rid of your large code. So as we have seen that we were facing some problem when we were playing our game, and here you can see that our floor is moving along as well, but we do not want it to do like this. We can apply a solution here. At the moment I will just delete this one. So we will drag out of our floor, and this time we will go to our utilities. Here these are, and we will go to our transformation. Earlier we were using add actor world rotation, but this time we will move on and we will get to get actor rotation. Here it is. I will just select this one and now we are good to go. Here you can see we have return value. If I right click on it and if I split it, here we have 3 values. I will again right click on it and I will recombine them, because we have one more way to do this, and that is I will drag this, and here we have an option which says break rotator, and these are the values appeared individually and not with this one. Now what I will do here, I'll do the same for my set actor rotation as well. I will drag out of this, and this time again I'll go to my utilities. Here these are, and now I'll go to my transformation. So we will go to our set functions, and these are our set functions. So this time I will take set actor rotation, and this time what I will do, I will reset it, and again I will right click on it, or you can drag from it, and here it says make rotator, and now we have successfully made a make rotator. Now what we need to do, as you can see here, our code is getting a little bit of complex. So what I will do here, I will delete this one, I will take my floor and I will make a copy of it. So I will just attach it with this one. Now what we need to do here, as you know, we have X values and Y values as well. So what I will do here, I will drag it, and this time I will take my plus function. So I will take float plus float, and this time I will take it and I will attach it with my X role. So what it will do, it will take the values from get mouse X and it will add it, and it will attach it with my break rotator with the X role. We need to do the same for our get mouse Y. So what I will do here, I will take this, let me drag it here as well. So I will just drag from it, and again I will take the plus function, and from here I will attach it and I will take it to my Y pitch. So finally what we need to do, we need to attach the output which is coming from X role, and we will attach it with the make a rotator X role, and we will do the same for our Y. So I will take it and I will attach it with my Y pitch. So here you can see we have successfully drawn our blueprint here, and now we just need to attach our event task with this one. Now we are good to go, and let's play our game now. And this time you can see we are not facing the problem which we were facing earlier, but there is one problem, and that is here we do not have an element which is related to our floor here, because we do not have an element and it is moving in any direction. So we need to put our limit in here so that we can control the floor movement. So in order to do that, we have to do a simple thing, and that is, let me maximize it. And here what I will do here, just drag from it, and this time we will go to our math category, and in here we will go to our float, because every value here which we are handling is in float. So I will just open this category, and here we have a function which says clamp. I will use that function, and what this function will do, this will force our floor to move up to some limit. And here we have the minimum value which I will set as -30, and for maximum value I will set +30. And what I will do now, I will take this and I will attach this with my make a rotator, and here you can see we have new connection in here. Let me rearrange all of this so that we can have better understanding and we can have better visualization. I will do the same for my Y pin as well. So I will just press Ctrl W and I will attach it here, and I will attach it with this one, and here you can see we have successfully done that. Now if I play our game here you can see now we have a limit of movement for our floor here. So this is how you can apply different limitations, and you can control the movement of your floor with the help of your mouse and with the help of clamp values. So we are good to go, and now let's move ahead. So as you can see here, I have created my maze successfully. You might be wondering that how I have done that. Basically, it's a really easy phenomena. What you just need to do, you just have to select any space in your workspace. Just I'm going to show you. Here it is. What I'll do now, go to your place actors or your mods. In my Unreal Engine, I have it as place actors. Some of you might see this as mods at here. So just click on that option. Here you will have these options. Go to your geometry, and from there select your box. And from here just drag it and drop it onto your space. So for default, make sure under the transform section, make the location as 0, 0 and 0. And here you can see, here we have our new box. I will drag it. Now from here, we will rearrange it and we will readjust it. So what we need to do, we need to make a floor out of it. To do that, these are the brush setting of which we can use to do that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take x-axis as 1500 and y-axis as 2000. And here you can see we have successfully created our floor here. Now what we need to do, we need to create different walls to make our maze here. So for that again, we will use a box here, we will drag it and we will drop it onto our floor. And again, we will use the settings to make our wall. So what I will do here, I will take x-axis as 100 and I will take my y-axis as 2000, just like the size of my floor. Now what I need to do, I just need to readjust it as per my floor. And here you can see I have readjusted it successfully. So you will do the same thing for the rest of your maze, and you can do that very easily. You might be wondering that I have different colors in my maze here. To do that, you just need to go to your contents, and from here go to your starter content and then go to your materials. And in here you can see we have a lot of materials. So what I have done from here, I have selected a material and I have just pasted it onto my floor. And here you can see we have the same floor as we have this one. So this is how you will create your maze. So I'll just delete this one. I'll delete this one too. And now let's get back to this maze. Here, what I have done, I have just moved my previous floor to the side, and then I have used the same setting, same lighting, same positioning for my new maze. And here you can see I have my ball now. If I click on my play button, here you can see my ball has dropped onto my floor and I'm ready to play this game. But at the moment, I'll not be able to play this game because we have to convert our maze into static mesh. To do that, we have to go to our Windows, and from here we have to look for a setting which says World Outliner. Here it is, I will just select it. So here you can see these are the different box brushes which I have used into my maze. This is the central point you can see here. But what I want to do, I want to select all of them and I want to convert all of them into one single static mesh. To do that, I have to select all these. But at the moment, as you can see, I have selected all of these, and at the moment the central point is there. I want it to be right here in the middle so that we can have static mesh at the central point. So how we can do that? So before that, we have to check that what is the central point of our floor. This is our central point of our floor, and this is our floor with the name of box brush. As you can see here, for this one, this is box brush 6, this is 10, and this is the third one. So we will create the static mesh around this point. As we know here that it is box brush. So what I will do now, I will press F2 and I will rename this box brush. I will name it as box brush 12. If I hit enter, here you can see it is at the last number. Now if I select all of these box brushes, so now as we have selected all of these, and we can see that the central point is our center, and we are ready to create our static mesh. To create your static mesh, go to your details tab, and under the brush setting, here you can see we have a small drop down arrow. Click on it, and here we have an option which says create static mesh. I will just click on it, and here it says create static mesh, and here you can name it anything, and here you can select the path where you want to create this one. I want to create this static mesh into my content folder. So to do that, I will right click on it and I will name my folder as maze. Hit enter, and here I will name my maze. So what I will name it as, I will name it as maze 1. And after that, I'll just click on create static mesh, and we are good to go. If I go to my contents folder, here you can see we have a folder with the name of maze, and here we have a maze available. In order to open it, just double click on it, and here we are into our maze. And here you can see this is how our maze look like. So now I will just close my maze and I'll go back to my level 1. Here it is. Here we just need to do one more thing, and that is, as you know, or if you remember, we converted our transformation for our floor as movable. At the moment it is static. So in order to move this floor, we need to convert it into movable. And now if I click on my play button, here you can see my ball has just went through my maze. It means there is no physicality and there is no collision between my ball and my maze. In order to create collision and physicality between these two, we need to open our maze here. I will double click on it, and from here we have to go to the menu which says collision. Here you can see I'll just click on it, and here we have different options which we can use. From here we have one more option which says add box simplified collision. If I select this one, here you can see we have the collision cover up on our whole maze. But there is one problem with this one, and that is it is surrounding the outer walls. What if we need to cover inside of these walls? Well, to do that, we have to resize this one and we have to make its copy and paste it on each and every wall inside our maze. But obviously it will take time and it is more difficult. There is another way to do this. We need to go to our detail section, which is here, and scroll down from here. Here you will find a section which says collision, and in that we have one more option, collision complexity, and in front of it we have a drop down menu. Just click on it and here you can see we have 4 options. Click on use simple collision as complex. Now what it will do, it will create the collision for our whole mesh or whole maze. It is not recommended for big projects, but for this problem which has a very limited scope, it will be enough. And now we are good to go. After that, I'll just close my maze from here, and now if I press my play button, here you can see our maze has collision and now we have the physicality as well. I will stop my game. Now what we need to do, we need to go to our blueprint. Here it is. Let me readjust it. If you remember, we had our floors as our reference point earlier, but at the moment we have our maze created. Let me close my detail section from here as well, and I will close my blueprint from here. Now if I right click on my blueprint, here you can see we have a create a reference to maze 1 option now. Earlier we had the option related to our floor, but if you remember or if you know that we have this maze or this whole floor one static mesh. So what we can do here, we can create a reference point with respect to this maze as well. So I'll just create one and here it is. Okay, you also know that with respect to our floor, we had all this setting or all this coding. We had the movement of our mouse, and then the value of this mouse X was getting into our clamp value, and then from it is going into our make rotator, and then it was getting into set actor rotation. And because of that, our floor was able to move with respect to movement of our mouse. What we can do now, I will just remove my floor from here. So for that, I will just delete this one, and as you know, I have created the reference point with respect to our maze. So I will just attach it with my get actor rotation. And now what will happen, every movement over the respect to my mouse will result into the movement of my maze. I'll do the same here. So I will just right click on my blueprint, and from here I will click on create a reference to maze 1. Again, I will just attach it to my set actor rotation, and now we are good to go. So before playing my game, I want to change my maze a little bit. So I'll see you after I'm done making all the changes into my maze. So this is how my maze looks now. I have made a lot of changes into this one because I thought the earlier one was a little bit easier, and now as you can see, I have changed it and now it seems a little bit more difficult. And now let's press the play button. Now I will click my mouse to take the control, and here you can see our maze is moving over the respect to the movement of our mouse, and here you can see our ball is also moving. So what you can do now, you can start playing the game. So this is all about how you can create a simplest game in your Unreal Engine. Still, there are a lot of things which we can add, like we can add the ending session, we can add the timer that in this limited time we have to complete this session. We also can add some music, like the moment we play the game, the music will start playing in the background, but we will leave this for another video. So with that, we got to the end of today's video. I hope you must have liked this one and you must have thought about going with Unreal Engine as a profession. If that is the case, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon along with it. If you have something to ask or if you want to suggest something, please leave a comment below. We will get back to you as soon as possible. Till the next video, take care.